It's vogue in certain circles to advertise yourself as a follower of Govinda Maharaj, or this personality, or that, and yet to see someone who's really, who can swallow that red hot coal. I'd like to see that. So we're very fortunate to have so many singing devotees here. Jayadvaita Maharaj, would you like to say something now?
For the evening programs, we would walk to a different village every day, and in the evening he would come and speak. And it was so impressive to me to see how powerfully he would speak. I couldn't understand a word of it. He would speak in Odia, but but of course Odia and Sanskrit, because he would quote lots of verses. But I could see that how strong his speaking was, that he would really tell them the truth of Krishna consciousness and not hold back. And also I saw how impressive it was. It's like, you know, you're in a thunderstorm or something, you have to be impressed. So the audience was really getting something. And of course he would speak something and then he would quote a verse in his characteristic tune, and his mridanga players would be there, and then he would expound upon the verse, and he could go and go, and people could listen and listen. It was wonderful, actually, to hear. Sometimes I was with him in different places, South Africa, San Diego. I remember in San Diego he was speaking very strongly about how the guru has to be a pure devotee, he has to be in prema bhakti, he has to be, you know, all these qualifications that no one would have, or none of us would have. And he was, you know, speaking from Shastra, and these are the qualifications. And afterwards, after the class, I was walking and with him, and I said, Maharaj, you know, then none of us are really qualified to accept disciples. No, you should accept disciples. But Maharaj, you just said, no, you must. It is your Guru Maharaj's order, you know. So in that way, he wasn't linear, that he only thought one way in a straight line. But he thought this way, and then he also thought that way, and bewildered, you know, my linear Western mind. But I appreciated it also. And he was very, not only you must, but very, I remember he took me by the hands and said, no, you must. You'll be a very good guru. Then also I remember, because I would sometimes go to the GBC meeting for some purpose, and he was a member. And I was struck by the way he would take part, because he wouldn't take part in the, you know, sort of small time back and forth that sometimes goes on. But he was very attentive. He would give his full attention, because Prabhupada's movement, his GDC, he would give full attention to, you know, almost attention that wasn't deserved by what was going on, but he would give his full attention. And then when he would speak, it would be a whole different level of discourse, because he would speak from principle. Either it would be Prabhupada instructed this, or it would be Shastra instructed that. It wasn't just pragmatic, well, if we do this, then he'll do that, and if he does that, then we can do this. It was principle, that from Shastra, it must be like this, or Shastra tells us this, or our Guru Maharaj told us this. And when he would speak, it would just be on 7 levels higher than whoever had spoken before him. He would speak from such a deep platform, and a platform, again, platform of principle. And that's why it was deep, because the principles run deep. You're speaking for the Acharyas, you're speaking for the Shastras, you're speaking for Prabhupada. And when he would speak that way, it would have great weight. He wouldn't speak often, he didn't jump into every discussion, but when he did jump in, it would be very deep and very strong. He had no sense of time. He would give class and then give more class, and there'd be somebody scurrying around. He's speaking Krishna Katha and he's going around. And at some point he might possibly be prevailed upon to stop. Or he would just stop of his own accord. But it wasn't because there was a schedule. He was not the scheduled man at all. I remember one time coming out of his class here in Mayapur, he'd given class, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj and I had both attended. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj was so much impressed by what Gaur Govinda Maharaj was saying. It wasn't something terribly esoteric, it was just, as I recall, the point of how we have to dedicate our hearts to Krishna. But the way that he said it was so impressive, and I remember Tamal Krishna Maharaj, who's not easily impressed by anything. I remember how impressed he was by Gaur Govinda Maharaj's, not only what he said, but by who he was saying it. Because anyone could have perhaps said the same thing, but it had such an impression because he was speaking from the platform of realization and purity, so that it went to the heart. Hare Krishna.